What if you didn't just pray for peace, but actually practice it until it became your family's new normal? Let that sink in. Since that's exactly what this whole series have been about. Because here's the truth. Mama, the cycle ends with you, but it doesn't end by accident. It ends with intention. We've talked about what chaos looks like, where it comes from, and how we end up repeating it, even when our hearts are crying out for peace. But today, I want to get practical. If I was stuck in a cycle right now, here's exactly how I would end it. You've heard me share the myths, the misconceptions, mistakes, and misalignments that keep us stuck in chaos. But I don't just talk about the problem. I've built a process to help mamas walk out the solution. It's the same process I've used in my own life and the same one I've walked other mamas through. Identify the chaos. Expose the pattern. Align with God's way. Create new rhythms. And embody peace. That's the heart behind everything I teach. Not just naming the chaos, but learning how to shift into peace step by step. So if I was in a cycle right now, here's exactly how I would end it. Step 1, I would name it. I'd pause long enough to call the cycle what it is. Is it yelling, overcommitting, running on empty, avoiding rest? You can't break what you won't name. And most of us don't slow down long enough to even recognize it. We just keep surviving. Then, for step 2, I would expose the pattern. Once I name it, I start paying attention. When does it show up? What triggers it? How do I react every single time? Because cycles don't just happen. They repeat through patterns. And this is why it's so important to take a step back and be still. Because when you're doing, you're going to miss it. Step 3, align with God's way. I take a step back to the word and I pray. I'd ask myself, is this pattern aligned with peace? Or is it pulling me away from it? And if it's not aligned with God's way, that's where surrender starts. So, before we go to step 4, I want to ask you to reflect for a moment. What patterns have been pulling you away from peace lately? What's one thing God's been nudging you to let go of? And what would it look like to surrender that this week? I want you to reflect on that. Write it down. Because it's going to be really important before you move forward to step 4. Okay? Now let's move on to step 4. Step 4, create a new rhythm. Here's where I get practical, right? What's one small change I can make that helps me live differently? Maybe it means setting a bedtime and actually sticking to it, which I mentioned in a previous episode. Maybe it's creating a calm morning routine so I'm not yelling before 8 a.m. Hence, a Bible study, spending time with the Lord in prayer. Or maybe it's choosing to pause before reacting when my kids test my patience. Because we should not just resort to yelling, right? It doesn't have to be deep. It just has to be something different. And then I would go to step 5, embody peace. So this is where everything comes together, right? I practice what I prayed for. Not perfectly, but consistently, because that's how peace becomes the new norm in my home. That's what it looks like to go from a cycle to peace. And the beautiful part, it's not overwhelming. It's one obedient step at a time, and over time, those steps add up to transformation. Now, maybe you've been listening to the series thinking, okay, Giovanna, that sounds good, but I don't even know where to start. And sis, I get it. Because I've been there too, stuck between wanting change and not knowing how to start. But I want you to know this. You don't have to figure it out alone. God's peace is available to you right now. And you've already taken the first step just by naming the cycle. So what's the next step? Walk it out. One day, one choice, one prayer at a time. Remember, peace isn't something you chase. It's something you practice. And with practice, it becomes your family's new normal. So here's your invitation. If you're ready to start breaking the chaos cycle on your own, grab my guide in the show notes. It's your step-by-step path to begin shifting your rhythms towards peace. But if you know you need accountability and someone to walk beside you, spend a week with me on Voxer. That will also be in the show notes. We will go through the guide together and apply it to you in your life in real time and break those cycles with clarity and support. This is your next step to finally end the cycle. Because mama, the cycle ends with you. You'll find everything you need linked in the show notes. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.